When this is all said and done, if she doesn't come testify, that's going to be crazy. But after this, you're going to say, we need young Miami. So because I missed yesterday, I've been flying all day. It just is what it is. We just going to get straight into it, all right? Okay, now back. U.S. versus Sean Combs, day 21. Jane still on cross-examination. Anonymity demanded, notwithstanding questions asked. Inner City Press is covering. Let's go. Judge, anything before the jury comes in, does the defense want to respond to the government on the juror issue? Shapiro. This is a thinly veiled attempt to exclude a black juror. Whoa, AUSA. We looked at the record and found a lack of candor. Judge, we'll deal with it before the weekend. Are the jurors ready? No. Judge, well, they'll take 10 minutes. Break. Waiting on jurors, Combs is reading something, talking to Agnifilo. On one side, Shapiro 1 seat away about the juror who the U.S. wants to remove. Still waiting on jury. Why isn't the prosecutor's letter? We ain't doing all that. All rise. Judge, Ms. Garagos, you may proceed. Garagos, I want to admit this exhibit under seal. Can you read that, Jane? Messages from December 2021 between yourself and Cabral after a hotel night? Jane, yes. Garagos, you had a pretty intense night. Jane, yes. Garagos, he says to you, you were talking so dirty to me. I love it. Jane, yes. I'm being friendly here. Garagos, after your long hotel night, you saw him with Gina? Jane, yes. Garagos, then Cabral wrote to you that he would be in L.A. and he's stayed to see if you want it? Jane, yes. Garagos, what do you say? Jane, it's my birthday weekend and you don't show me no love. Garagos, then you asked him to send you a personal video? Jane, yes. Garagos, that night you saw the Italian entertainer who you called the entertainer. Jane, yes. Garagos, and Sean had taken up with young Miami? Jane, yes. Garagos, and you said if you don't get your A out of that island, no party, right? Jane, right. Wow. Garagos, Sean wrote you a note that said you meant the world to you. You told KK you wanted to make it cute and romantic. Jane, yes. Garagos, the Valentine's Day hotel night, having two men there, that was your idea? Jane, it was. After these nights, it was crushing to see these things. Garagos, like Gina posting the love bracelet on Instagram, right? Jane, yes. Garagos, how were you planning to reach out to Sean and perhaps reach out to the Italian? Jane, I was still doing that then. Garagos, he says, can you FaceTime? Jane, yes, that's what he said. Garagos, 10 days later, you had another hotel night? Jane, maybe. Garagos, let me refresh your recollection of seeing Mr. Combs and not having a hotel night with him. Jane, it certainly did. Garagos, no hotel nights until the end of June? Jane, maybe. Garagos, here, Mr. Combs says I'm jerking my D thinking how nasty you are going to be to me, right? Jane, yes. Garagos, he says call Italian or Paul is free and you like Paul is free, right? Jane, yes. Garagos, he gave you a choice and you chose. Jane, yes. Garagos, he responds, I told Paul 11 p.m. Is that okay? And let's watch P first, right? Jane, yes. Garagos, he says London Hotel. What would you get? Jane, stripper shoes, shorts, maybe whips. Combs Garagos, why shorts? Jane, I was really turned off by their shorts, so I got other shorts for them. It was not so fun to wait for them to be erect. I started to get things on the side so they could get erect. I got pills at the stores, rhino pills. God, dog. This is wild. Garagos, the next day he says, want to do dinner at 9. Bring the freak bag just in case. Jane, right. Lingerie and the rest? Right. Lingerie and the rest. Garagos, but you didn't have a freak night. Let me refresh your recollection. And this exhibit under seal. Garagos, he says, I'm about to work out with Paul. Then I want to see you. You say, hair up. Jane, there was probably a FaceTime between these two. Garagos, he says, did you want to hit Italian, right? Jane, yes. I didn't want to. Garagos, Sean says, Paul is all we need. And you say, LOL. What do you say? Jane, I'll go to the store unless you get a head start. Garagos, what do you mean? Jane, go to the hotel ahead of me. Garagos, but then you spent several days at his home? Jane, maybe. Garagos, you really did love him, right? Jane, yes. Gary goes, do you remember seeing Sean in September 2022 and not having a hotel night September 9th? Jane, I'm not sure. Gary goes, now do you see you saw him but no hotel night? Jane, that is incorrect. Gary goes, September 4th? Jane, we took a jet to Vegas. He performed, then we had a hotel night with an entertainer. Gary goes, do you remember seeing him on September 20th and not having a hotel night? Jane, I'm not sure. Gary goes, let me show you this. Does it refresh your recollection? Jane, I guess I did. Gary goes, did Sean pay for your birthday dinner? Jane, yes. Gary goes, what was the restaurant? Jane, I can't remember the name. Gary goes, you had a great time? Jane, I had an okay time. Gary goes, you right. Is Nobu the only place? How about something outside the hotel? Jane, he conveniently put me in a hotel with the Nobu. Suggested Poppy Steaks. Gary goes, that's a nice restaurant in Miami? Jane, so I've heard. Gary goes, Valentine's Day, the year before he was in a different country. You wrote, get your ass from that island, right? Jane, yes. Gary goes, then at the Nobu Hotel, you accepted it. Jane, I would say I went along with it. Gary goes, you said accepted. Jane, my stuttering was trying to find the right word for the pressure I felt. Gary goes, you mean agitation? Jane, yes. Gary goes, you said he gave you your birthday gift, a necklace. Jane, yes. Gary goes, did you take this photo? Jane, yes. Gary goes, under seal. Gary goes, it was a Van Cleef necklace. Jane, yes. Gary goes, who is Van Cleef? Jane, a jewelry brand that is high end. In that photo, I had already taken drugs. Any time of affection made me smile. Gary goes, you took a mirror selfie. Jane, unfortunately, yes. Gary goes, Sean gave the entertainer a condom that night. Jane, yes. Gary goes, are these your texts with Cabral? Jane, I was high. It was 2:40 in the morning. Gary goes, UCT time, right? Jane, yes. Gary goes, so it was night East Coast time? Jane, yes. Gary goes, you invite Cabral for the next day, but the ecstasy would have worn off by then, right? Jane, and these nights I repeatedly took ecstasy. Gary goes, you say you will book his travel for the next day, right? Jane, yes. Gary goes, what did you write her? Jane, I wrote, I appreciate everything you did for my birthday. I want to give everything you want on Valentine's Day. Gary goes, what did you mean? Jane, the necklace in your lovemaking. Only with regard to him. Gary goes, then you send him photos of your guys in the hotel room? Jane, yes. Gary goes, you didn't tell him you don't like it until you saw him with Carisha and Turks, right? Jane, yes. It was very hurtful after enduring what I endured. Oh, wow. Gary goes, you reached out to Cabral? Jane, under the pressure of my lover. Gary goes, you asked him and he gave the man a condom. Jane, at the very last minute. Thank God. Gary goes, you wrote to him, I loved and appreciated every detail you put into my B-Day. Jane, I wrote that with regard to Sean. Gary goes, you wrote that to Sean, you stopped talking to him? Jane, I was heartbroken. I flew to Paris Fashion Week. Gary goes, you enjoyed it? Jane, yes. Gary goes, this is a text message chain between you and Sean. March of 2023, on the 2nd, he wrote, sorry I called you a bitch. I deserve this. Love, right? Jane, yes. Gary goes, he then writes, when can you come to Turks, right? Jane, yes. Gary goes, you sent him a heart emoji and wrote, what we have is special, right? Jane, yes. Gary goes, the budget for your trip was $100,000? Jane, yes. Gary goes, and he spent $55,000? Jane, I don't know. Gary goes, you felt like he didn't like you up and leaving to Paris? Jane, no, he didn't. Gary goes, you went to the Mandarin Oriental and watched pornography with Sean? Jane, yes. Gary goes, Sean asked you about bringing Don? Jane, given the situation, I said yes. Gary goes, you said if you'd known Paul would be there, it would have gone to Turks. I mean, you wouldn't have gone to Turks. Jane, I would not have. Gary goes, did you write to Cabral from there and invite him to come here? Jane, yes. Under the encouragement of my partner, yes, I did. Gary goes, you were happy Sean gave you diamond? Jane, I thought it was sweet. Gary goes, you were glad to get diamonds? Jane, I wanted Sean. Gary goes, you wrote, I wanted condoms. AUSA call me. Objection as to form. Judge, rephrase it. Gary goes, do you remember telling Paul that you'd let Sean go too far and it was your fault? Jane, yes. Gary goes, Your Honor, I think this would be a good place to take a break. Judge, all rise. Break. Judge. Are we already accept the absence of Miss Comey? AUSA. Yes, Your Honor. We reached you. Comey enters. Judge. Okay, let's bring Jane back in. Gary goes. You may proceed. Excuse me. Gary goes. You wrote, all I have in my mind right now is your passionate lovemaking, right? Jane. Yes. Gary goes. You saw him 2 weeks later and did not have a hotel night. Jane. Maybe. Gary goes. Let's play this voice note. I believe there is no objection. Comey. I don't have it on my list, but if Ms. Garagos represents I have no objection, I won't. Garagos. Give me a minute. I'll move on. Did you ask about hotels or Airbnbs? Jane. Yes. Garagos. And Sean asks, how do you know there aren't cameras in the Airbnb, right? Jane. Yes, I wrote. They could be covered by security. We'll just say it's our anniversary and we want to cover them to feel comfortable. Garagos. What did you write to Sean? Jane. You can make my child so happy. I love you. Sobs. Gary goes. Take as much time as you need. Jane. I do remember. Gary goes. Are you ready? Jane. Yes. Gary goes. In this, where are you? Jane. Hotel night. Gary goes. 3136 sealed. Gary goes. In this, 3152. Is it a message after the hotel night saying, I love living in the moment with you? It was our little partay, rosé, whatever we saying. Is that a moon emoji? Comey. Your Honor, may we approach Judge? Yes. Break. Gary goes. Jane, jumping ahead. DX3171. Is this a message chain between you and Mr. Combs, August 9th, 2023? Jane. Yes. Gary goes. Mr. Combs, right. Movie night off the charts. You say you agree, right? Jane. Yes. Gary goes. Then the All-Star night canceled by the hurricane, right? Jane. Yes. Gary goes. Then you heard Mr. Combs on a podcast in Croatia where he said he had sex on a yacht trip. You said he lied to you, Jane. I hurt my feelings. Gary goes. You proposed Zero Bound or Casa Cipriani. Are these two private clubs in New York? Jane. Yes. Gary goes. But you ended up going to a lounge, right? Jane. Yes. Gary goes. And after you rejected the new entertainer for lack of chemistry, you called Cabral. Jane. Yes. Gary goes. And you said that you were high that night and felt freer. You let Cabral do things you usually don't. Jane. Yes. Gary goes. And you then wrote a note. Then you wrote to Mr. Combs, I love you so much. Jane, I did. Gary goes. You spoke about the sobriety party. You resented him for it, right? Jane, yes. Gary goes. You had wanted to break up with him after you saw him with Gina. Jane. There were so many times I wanted to break up with him. Gary goes. You were in Equinox parking lot and you tried to break up with him, right? Jane, yes. Gary goes. Let me play you an audio recording. Sean Combs. We were both tripping, Jane. Voice. We need to pick each other up. Gary goes. No entertainers that night. Jane. Right. Gary goes. But it was after that, the video in Cassie's lawsuit was made public. Jane. Yes. Gary goes. Before that, would Mr. Combs write Cassie love letters with you? While with you? Jane. I'm not sure. Oh, I remember. Adjourned. Wait, what? Huh. All right, let's get over to the next part. All right, hold on. There's a little bit more. It says, Judge, I understand Ms. Garagos will be finishing tomorrow morning. Who will be the next government witness? AUSA. Andre Lamaz, Jonathan Perez, then our first summary witness, Ms. Sankar. Judge. When will you rest? AUSA. Next Friday or even Wednesday? Judge Agnifilo. Mr. Agnifilo? Combs. Mark Agnifilo. We'll know more when they tell us which witnesses they are cutting. I think we're still on schedule. AUSA. We want 26.2 material as soon as we rest. Agnifilo. Yes. AUSA. We think they have opened the door to Jane's prior consistent statements. Her notes before September 2024, when she got immunity for her grand jury testimony. Driscoll. There are not prior consistent statements. Agnifilo. This witness was never going to be charged as a co-conspirator. Judge. How about the Mann Act charges? Agnifilo. The government told half the story. Judge. I'll look at it. See every one of them all. If you can, hit the like button, please. I know I missed yesterday, and probably tomorrow's going to be a little bit later because I got to fly again. But by next week, everything should be square. I'm not going anywhere for a while. So there we go right here. Sean Combs, day 22, Jane to finish, cross and redirect, and fly off. Anonymity demanded. Then Perez and Sankar and the City Press is covering. Before jury is brought in, Judge. The messages at issue that the defense wants to get it, can you redact them? Garrett goes, we shouldn't have it. It's consistent with our theory. They opened. Judge, they didn't open the door. Comey, on direct, we elicited testimony about the end of a relationship in 2024. There were no texts, but oral communications. This self-serving voice note by the defendant should not come in. By December 2023, he was trying to make a record for litigation. Judge, what about Ms. Garrigos questioning Jane about this without introducing the voice note? Comey, that too might confuse the jury. The defendant was trying to feed Jane a narrative throughout their relationship. The hearsay rule precludes this. Comey, if the defendant wants to take the stand and subject himself to cross-examination, that's fine, Judge. The questions without the voice note would not be for the truth of the matter asserted. Comey, this would be a backdoor way to get this in. Judge, so I agree with the government on this portion of the voice notes and order them to be excluded. Some questions will be permitted. If you feel they become a basis for introduction, you could call for a sidebar. Now, the U.S. wants more of Jane's notes or diary. Judge, once there is a motive to fabricate, the statement cannot come in as a prior consistent statement. This fact pattern does not appear to have previously arisen. 2 time periods. Defense argues it would be improper. They post-dated the lawsuit. Comey, I know we are delayed in bringing the jury in, so I don't want to push about getting this in, Judge. Go ahead and push. It's just that the government already put in a lot of messages on this. Comey, we want her, I felt obligated 98% of the time. Judge, I want to reserve. Now, can we bring in Jane? Comey, Your Honor, we made an application through your deputy. Judge, I think it is reflected on this post-it note. Question, isn't this the post-it note now a judicial document? Will it be docketed? Judge, let's have a brief discussion in the Robin room with Jane and Jane's counsel. Garrett goes, can I come too? Judge, of course. Questions about the hit list of publications Jane's counsel said she would submit, but it's not in the docket. Oops, hold on. They're still in the Robin room, but whatever's being discussed has not been docketed despite this prior granted application by Inner City Press. 9:59 a.m. Counsels, including the Jane, are still in the Robin room with Judge Subramanian. Sean Combs has been taken by the marshals back into the holding cell, bathroom break, and on what topic would witness Jane counsel be getting so play as jury waits. Counsel are back from the Robin room. Now Agnifilo, Shapiro, and Steele huddled around Combs, talking with him, a decision to be made. Now Xavier Donaldson goes from the middle back table to talk with Combs. Meanwhile, Agnifilo is in the front talking with AUSA Comey. Jane still not on the witness stand. Now Nicole Westmoreland too is back with Combs. He sits surrounded by 5 or 6 lawyers, talking and gesturing with his hands. Now Combs speaking one-on-one with Nicole Westmoreland as Driscoll and Xavier Donaldson stand between the tables. This all began before 10 a.m., more than half an hour now. A moment ago, Combs was smiling, even laughing. Now he puts his hand in his head. So, what was on the post-it note? And when will it be docketed? 10:45 a.m., Judge. Ms. Garrigos, are you ready to proceed? Agnifilo. He had a discussion in the back. Mr. Combs was not present. I would like to lodge this objection. We litigated this over pseudonyms. Judge, let's take a step back. Judge, I can clear the courtroom if we need to. Agnifilo. No need. I will conform my comments to an open court. Our reason trials and names are public is so people who were there can come forward. We objected to a pseudonym with Mia. Now this, Agnifilo. The events in a hotel room on January 24th, 2024, I appreciate the balancing, but we maintain the constitutional right to a fully public trial remains. We didn't consent to these events should be not fully public. Agnifilo. Part of the public nature of the trial is for the information to reach the public so other witnesses can come forward. I wanted my client to hear this. Judge, Ms. Comey? Comey. As long as you answer remains, no, we are fine. Comey. The argument to say the name is an attempt to harass. Judge, and this event in the hotel is not one of the alleged acts of sex trafficking. It's just collateral. It's not a real concern. Comey. The identity of those there is not a defense. Judge, all rise. Jurors, I apologize how long this took. We did things to save you time. Jane, you're still under oath. Proceed. Garrett goes, good morning. Let's look at your message where you said, I feel as your lover, I wanted to please you. Push through. Garrett goes, what you really wanted was the cuddle with Mr. Combs? Jane, our intimate time. Garrett goes, tell me about the mobile TV you got him. Jane, it was an LG cordless. You can move it around. Garrett goes, and see your movies on it. Jane, yes. Garrett goes, after Cassie's lawsuit went public, how were things? Jane, I come to find out that another woman had the same experiences I had. I put out that energy on him, and he was already down. So resentment, everything was hard. Garrett goes, a hard month. Jane, yes. Garrett goes, let's play the voicemail note. Combs' voice. I don't want to be in a relationship like this. I don't want to make anyone feel like this. Let's end this cycle so you don't feel like I wasted your time. Garrett goes, are there more messages like this? Jane, yes. Garrett goes, did Sean often say to you, I'm a solutions person. I just want solutions? Jane, yes. Garrett goes, you wrote, I tolerated, I took on a lot of in those rooms. Please don't discredit me. And he wrote, never discredited you. Jane, yes. Garrett goes, you wrote that you wanted 100,000 for each wasted here and more 450,000. You wrote this, right? Jane, yes. Garrett goes, and you said you were thinking of hurting yourself? And he said, don't. He cared. Jane, I don't know about that. Garrett goes, you said you didn't want to have friends at the time. Call me objection. Garrett goes, I can rephrase. You said you talked about your feeling with Sean because you didn't have other people. Jane, okay. Garrett goes, Sean still paid your rent. Jane, yes. Garrett goes, the 9,000 from Bear, you had known him from your modeling days. Jane, yes. Garrett goes, did you have to do any work for 9,000? Jane, no. Garrett goes, the rapper you mentioned, he was close with Mr. Combs? Jane, yes. Video, can't see without sound. Garrett goes, this rapper, they will record together. He also an icon in the music industry? Jane, yes. Garrett goes, you went to the birthday with the rapper's wife or girlfriend? Did you know Anton traveled with them? Jane, yes. Garrett goes, and Combs knew? Jane, yes. Garrett goes, when Anton was having sex with the woman, how many people were in the room? Jane, 7 or 8. Just watching. Garrett goes, the rapper was flirting with you? Jane, yes. Garrett goes, you flashed your breast to the room. Who asked you to? Jane, it was just in the moment. Garrett goes, what did the rapper say to you? Jane, that he always wanted to blank me? Garrett goes, so he had a crush on you? Jane, yes. Garrett goes, how did you bring up Cabral? Sly? Jane, they asked if I knew anyone else in the lifestyle. I said yes. At the time, I thought Cabral was a safe and confidential person. Garrett goes, that was for the rapper and his partner? Jane, yes. Garrett goes, how did they know to ask you? Jane, maybe they just picked up the energy or heard that Sean and I were into the lifestyle. Garrett goes, you flew to Miami around the time of your birthday? Jane, yes. Garrett goes, he set up a grandiose birthday for you? Jane, yes. Garrett goes, there were candles on the walkway? Jane, it was very romantic. His heart was beating. Garrett goes, was your heart beating as well? Jane, yes. I was just about to say that. It's all painted pink and silver. A 5-course dinner. What I wanted from my lover. Garrett goes, no ecstasy at the dinner. Jane, no, none. Garrett goes, afterward, you took a pill and he took a pill and Don came over? Jane, yes, at 1 star. Garrett goes, you said you were willing to have sex with Don because of the birthday party? Jane, yes, it was nice. Garrett goes, this is between you and Paul Arthur. And when you asked, do you have plans for Valentine's Day? Jane, right? Garrett goes, you said you wanted to see Paul as a person. Jane, yes. Garrett goes, you said after Cassie's lawsuit, you saw changes in Sean. Jane, yes. Combs, Garrett goes, you said Sean would write to you, I'm single, I'm polyamorous, and that hurt you. Jane, yes. Garrett goes, after the lawsuit, you went to saying, we are in a relationship. You are my girlfriend. That meant a lot to you? Jane, it did. When you saw the video of Mr. Combs laying hand on Cassie, you felt sick. Jane, I did. Garrett goes, that was not the man you knew, right? Jane, right. Now another sidebar. Good for slipping that one in there. Boy, he had to do that one. I mean, she had to do that one, pardon me. Tini Garrett goes, is a woman. You remained in contact with Mr. Combs after the video. Jane, yes. Garrett goes, you stayed in Miami with him for a few days, then left. Jane, I did. Garrett goes, he flew to L.A. in June with his children? Jane, yes. Garrett goes, fair to see Mr. Combs posted about his road trip with his children on social media? Jane, yes. Garrett goes, this is a photo of how you set up the house. Some set up by you, some by Jonathan? Jane, yes. Garrett goes, and a big bottle of Clico? Jane, yes. Garrett goes, and this is a photo on the patio, right? Jane, yes. Garrett goes, you were drinking champagne? Jane, yes. Garrett goes, now, it's 8:30 p.m., already dark outside. Tequila shots, but no ecstasy, yeah? Right? Jane, right? Garrett goes, Jonathan bought the candles? Jane, yes. Garrett goes, play the video. Music in the voice of Sean Combs. Championship Boston Celtics. Garrett goes, half an hour later, you were fighting, right? Jane, yes. Garrett goes, you testified you called him a pedophile, even though you knew she was not underage. Jane, right? Garrett goes, and you pushed his head into the counter? Jane, I did. Garrett goes, you had never had a physical altercation with him, right? Jane, I had not. Garrett goes, you pushed medium hard? Jane, yes. Garrett goes, and you threw a candle at him? Jane, yes. Garrett goes, when you say you locked the door, was it a button? Jane, yes. Garrett goes, so he did not force physical lock, but a button, right? Jane, yes. Gary goes, what was he saying? Jane, that I'm crazy? A lot of yelling. Gary goes, you go in the closet? Jane, yes. Gary goes, you take your working out seriously, right? Jane, yes. Gary goes, but you did not put on an active wear, but rather a dress. Why? Jane, because I could put it on easily. Gary goes, after the altercation and you ran and hid behind the wall, where was your phone? Jane, back in the house. Gary goes, when you went back, you saw Mr. Combs? Jane, he was out on the street. Gary goes, this had been hours? Jane, it had. Gary goes, you were angry and screaming, called him a pedophile. Jane, I called him a monster. Gary goes, but he didn't kick you again. Jane, he didn't. Gary goes, you punched him in the back of his head and he punched you. Jane, he punched me twice. Judge, break. Judge, I like lead counsel and counsel to Jane to come to the roving room. Agnifilo, I like to do this in the presence of Mr. Combs. Call me. If this is about the issue we discussed in the roving room, we have concerns. Judge, okay, a sidebar. 12:48. They're back from the sidebar. Judge, I'm really just going to break for lunch. There's nothing to put on the record. Now break. They're back. But before arguments, before jury comes back in, headphones are being set up in the jury box. Defense wants to play them something sealed at the end of their cross-examination of June. Combs, sitting, is surrounded by a half a dozen lawyers. Judge, I understand the government says we can break earlier tomorrow to do, so we don't have to deal with evidentiary issues now. Let's just finish Jane's testimony. Bring the witness and jury back. All rise. Gary goes, while you fought, Mr. Combs was yelling. You were trying to get me to never see my kids again, right? Jane, yes. Gary goes, you said he was dragging you by your hair, right? Jane, yes. I was telling him to stop. Gary goes, you got his phone? Jane, yes. Gary goes, and you called the woman in Miami? Jane, yes. Gary goes, you asked her, did you go to the Grand Canyon with him? I'm asking you woman to woman? Jane, yes. Gary goes, and she said you're worrying about the wrong things? Woman to woman? Jane, yes. Jane, I told her he's beating my ass. Deshaun hung up the phone, and she called back multiple times. His phone lit up. Gary goes, did she call you a bitch? Jane, yes. Gary goes, did you talk about her previous relationships? Jane, maybe. You know you did. Shut the hell up, lying. Gary goes, then you called Jonathan. You were in the shower naked, but Mr. Combs was in pants? Jane, shorts. Gary goes, and you called him a son of a bitch? Jane, just a bitch. Gary goes, okay, just a bitch. Did he slap you? Jane, yes, hard. Gary goes, then he tells you to put on an outfit? Jane, yes. Gary goes, and he grabs your phone? Jane, he went to the messages and said hi to Anton. In the next thread, Gary goes, it's about the night in January you sent to Las Vegas? Jane, yes. Gary goes, how far is it from your home in the gated community to the gate? Jane, a minute or two. Gary goes, so like half a mile? Jane, yes. I drove and let Anton in. Gary goes, champagne and tequila, but still no drugs? Jane, right. Gary goes, you and Sean going to the bedroom. You told him you went to Las Vegas? Jane, yes. Gary goes, you told him you flashed your breasts? Jane, not then. Gary goes, you told him you referred Cabral to the other rapper? Jane, not yet. Gary goes, did Mr. Combs tell at your how you could go into another man's freak off? Jane, yes, he yelled that. Gary goes, then you say Sean told you, go out and fuck him. And you said no. Jane, I said no. Then he pushed the pill in my face. Gary goes, but you didn't have sex with Anton? Jane, not that kind of sex. Gary goes, you gave Anton oral sex? Jane, yes. Gary goes, Deshaun dismissed him. You told Anton you sent him money later? Jane, I did. Gary goes, this was the first time you didn't have an intimate moment with your partner after the entertainer left? Jane, yes. Gary goes, he said again, I can't believe you went to another man's freak off? Jane, yes. Gary goes, talking about that rapper? Jane, yes. Gary goes, he just kept saying, how could you have gone to another rapper's freak off? Jane, yes. Gary goes, after that, you called and texted each other? Jane, yes. Gary goes, you went to see him and broke up? Jane, we had 8 or 9 hours of breakup conversation. Gary goes, you saw him traveling with another woman in Wyoming and it upset you? Jane, I was at home with a black eye. Gary goes, you hadn't forced intercourse with Anton? Jane, yes. Jane, it was forced oral sex. Gary goes, play a video, not for the public to hear. They have headphones on. We hear nothing. Gary goes, I will read his response. Mr. Combs says, I'm not going to belittle myself for someone named Bear or for my friend. That means the rapper, right? Jane, yes. Gary goes, Mr. Combs wrote, sorry I didn't take you on trips. I was tripping. The baby daddy and you and KK would have talked yourself into paranoia. You didn't get along with KK. Jane, I didn't. Gary goes, put on the headphones and press play. We hear nothing. Jane, headphones. They start. Combs is leaning over, listening to the same headphones as Agnifilo. Gary goes, pause there. You bring up OnlyFans there. You'd been on it 4 or 5 months earning well, right? Jane, yes. Gary goes, you asked him why he couldn't balance it. Hotel nights and private travel. Jane, right? Gary goes, you wrote Did the other girls just pressure you for more trips? And I didn't. I just want to know where we went wrong. Garrett goes, Mr. Combs said, that is my friend. I was like, okay, where should we stop? Now press play and stop. No sign in public gallery. Garrett goes, you said we broke up and I went to one birthday party. Not with the rapper, but my friend. Garrett goes, you wrote, I don't even have anything postable. You meant Instagram. Jane, I did. Garrett goes, you wrote about your child's father. You said, I'm in my late 30s. I don't have time. Play more video. Garrett goes, that last part, that's about your child's father? Jane, yes. Garrett goes, you wrote, I just wanted to travel with you. Jane, yes. Garrett goes, you sent a clown emoji and said, if fucked more, I could have gone on trips. Garrett goes, then you went to Miami and stayed in the Four Seasons? You chose that hotel, right? Jane, yes. Garrett goes, you took drugs and laughed and danced? Jane, yes. Garrett goes, you were finally getting the princess treatment you wanted? Jane, yes. Garrett goes, then you told Mr. Combs that you really miss Paul? Jane, I had taken ecstasy, but I did miss Paul. Garrett goes, you called Paul and he came in a few days. You were at 2-Star? Jane, yes. Garrett goes, and it felt good. A love fest. Jane, yes. Garrett goes, on June 1st of this year, you had a new memory of Mr. Combs splashing water on you, right? Jane, if I may explain. Garrett goes, did you tell the government that on June 1st? Jane, yes. Garrett goes, why did you call yourself Kobe, Jordan, and Shaq? Why did you call yourself Kobe, Jordan, and Shaq? Why are you Kobe? Jane, because I'm the best. Garrett goes, and why is he Jordan? Jane, because he's the best. Garrett goes, and this is about Pamela Anderson Mellon's laughs. Garrett goes, what do you say? Jane, I wrote, you are definitely my Michael Jordan and I'm Kobe. Detox weekend. Garrett goes, you say good morning, handsome. He says, can you please find a therapist? Jane, yes. We loved each other, but there was toxic stuff. Garrett goes, but it ended on a positive note. Jane, yes, it did. Garrett goes, no further questions. Judge, redirect, call me. Sidebar. Judge, yes. Jurors, you may have a comfort break and avoid the white noise. Call me. The cross argued that this witness had a motive to lie. It opens that door to that one sentence I've been asking for as a prior consistent statement. Judge, how does this go to an event months later? Call me. It's on their point that Jane is shading her testimony to correspond with the government's theory that she was coerced. Call me. Jane testified on the stand 4 days after getting immunity. She didn't try to get a payday, but they might think she's going to try to shade her testimony to please the prosecutors. Driscoll, it's hearsay. Theirs is a fringe theory. Call me. How long do you anticipate your redirect? Call me. Half an hour? Judge, let's take a break at first. Shapiro, Your Honor, may I? But the judge is gone. They're back. Driscoll, she can still file a lawsuit, Judge. The application to admit the exhibit we have been discussing is denied. The government has not brought forward any authority on this. Jane re-enters, jurors file in. Damn. Call me. G101, page 6 and 7. Pull them up. Can we zoom in? What did Sean write to Paul? Jane, he wrote, I'm going to need to persuade you. AUSA, had you seen this before? Jane, no. Call me. What did you write to Paul about Turks? Jane, I'm not a robot. Just a mix of tired, hungry, sore. AUSA, next? Jane, to assault me about the bracelet to make me perform. It crushed me. AUSA, what else did you write? Jane, in that room, I felt like a hoe. Call me. Then what? Jane, the love contract. He's so good to shower me with affection, with violating sex exploitation in between. I can compartmentalize the bad stuff. AUSA, in May of 2021, did you ask for a condom? Jane, yes. Sean resisted, but then he gave in. Call me. But the next time, Jane, he mocked him. AUSA, did Sean let you use a condom? Jane, yes. AUSA, did you ever want to have sex with Cabral? Jane, no. AUSA, did you fake orgasms with entertainers? Jane, yes. I was putting on a show for Sean. Call me. When did Sean threaten to release video of you? Jane, December 2023. I called KK. AUSA. Sean's drug use. How did you send cues you were tired? Jane. Make little faces, kind of size. AUSA. How did Sean respond? Jane. Push through. One more round. Call me. How did you try to avoid setting up hotel nights? Jane. I try to navigate the night to something else. Call me. How many times did you have hotel nights in 200 Mapleton? Jane. Once. AUSA. 2-star? Jane. 3 times. AUSA, 1 star? Jane, 1 or 2. Jane, I felt it was unfair. All of the pressure. Call me. What do you mean? Jane, those nights with other men, starts crying. I was asking, why do I have to break my boundaries and you still treat me like this? AUSA, what is this text? Jane, the all-star fantasy play? Call me. What did you send Sean? Jane, a photo of my bloody tampon. AUSA, what did you write? Jane, I got childcare and said, You picked, then everything went left. I said, I just got my period. I handled the first school week. Call me. In 2023, did you become more vocal about wanting to stop hotel nights? Jane, yes. He started paying my rent. I had to maintain my livelihood. My partner was in charge now. AUSA, by the sobriety party, how many times did he threaten your rent? Jane, many times. Call me. The time after you threw up, what did Sean do? Jane, he told me to go back out there and have sex with another man. AUSA, was Sean affectionate with you when Anton was in your home? Jane, no, Sean was evil. Call me. What did Sean say when he gave you the ecstasy pill? Jane, he said, you're not going to ruin my night. Go suck some dick. Go fuck him. Something. AUSA, how long before that he had put you in a chokehold? Gary goes, objection. Judge, sustain. Call me. Did he choke you with his hands or his arm? Jane, arm. AUSA, and in the shower, how hard did he hit you? Jane, so hard. AUSA, then what did he say? Jane, he said, get in a fucking outfit. Call me. When you hid for 2 hours, could Sean have left safely? Jane, yes. AUSA, did you want to have sex with Anton that night? Jane, no. AUSA, who made you? Jane, Sean. AUSA, would you give all the money back for no sex with other men? Jane, yes. Call me. Why are you here? Jane, I got a subpoena and I'm here. AUSA, no further questions. Judge, Ms. Garagos Recross? Hold on. Ms. Garagos Recross? Calls Garagos. Did you drive to pick up Anton? Jane, yes. AUSA, could you have left? Jane, yes. No, the question was just above by Combs Garagos. Mea culpa. Combs Garagos. The only time that nothing sexual happened between you and Anton was January 2024, right? Jane, right? Garagos. Anton drove his car into your compound? Jane, yes. Garagos. You let him in? Jane, yes, as requested. Garagos. But you lift heavy weights? Jane, yes. But a woman's power does not override a man's. Garagos. Did you hit Sean's head against the counter? Jane, yes. Garagos. You'd see the Intercontinental video? Jane, yes. Garagos. Did you refer to Cabral as another rapper in 2024? January? Jane, yes. Garagos. You were asked if you would give up the money to not have sex with these men, but you wouldn't give up your home? Jane. My child and I live there. It's hard. Garagos. You get $5,000 a month. Child support. Jane, yes. Garagos. Your child's father is a very rich man, right? Jane, yes. Garagos. Didn't Mr. Combs over 3 years wire you $150,000? Jane. Is that all 3 years of mine are worth? Garagos. You believe you are worth more than $150,000? Jane. That's pretty good. Does he? Garagos. What's the most you made in a month on OnlyFans? Jane, 50,000, but it varies. Garagos. You said you were hungry to indicate you didn't want sex, right? Jane, yes. Garagos. Didn't Mr. Combs give you food? Jane. He knew what I meant. Garagos. Did he give you food? Jane, yes. Garagos. Did you tell Cabral that sex with him had been great? Jane, yes, but Garagos. You got Mr. Combs a mobile TV to show videos of you having sex with entertainers? Jane. So I wouldn't have to have sex with other men. Garagos. Sometimes you just watched videos, no sex with other men? Jane. All of it was shit. Garagos. But did you? Judge. Jane, if you can just answer the questions. Jane, yes. Garagos. What did you see preparing this? Jane, my truth. Garagos. Did you see records of times you did not have the hotel night? Jane, lucky me. Garagos. But there was such times. Jane, thank God. Garagos. How did seeing what Sean wrote to Paul make you feel? Jane, how would it make you feel? Garagos. Please answer my question. Jane. Now that I've seen Sean's message to Paul, probably I did have a hotel night. Garagos. You're changing your testimony. Garagos. No further questions, Judge. Redirect? Call me. What violence had Sean done to you before he asked you to pick up Anton? Garagos. Objection? Judge. Overruled. Jane. He slapped me. Judge. No further questions. Judge. Thank you, Jane. Jurors, you may leave. AUSA Slavic. We need rulings to make. Mr. Sankar's summary charge. Judge. I have a letter from yesterday. AUSA. The messages are within the scope of each employee or agent's authority. This is a chat between the defendant, KK Fahim, and Robin, his accountant. We will redact the first message about the purchase of a Maybach truck. Judge. In the back, if people want to leave, they must before we start. If you are here now, you should remain until we are done. Judge. Can we shorten this exhibit? Cut out the flowers? AUSA. Flowers refer to marijuana. Driscoll. First time we hear that. AUSA. There's an item about paying Guido. He was a dealer. There are others. 49-page charge and evidence. Judge. Who's going to testify about flowers? AUSA. We have two witnesses. Judge. A518 AUSA. D-Rock, Fahim, and the defendant. Count $1 million cash by hand. Driscoll. It's not clear how relevant this case is to the case. The exhibit talks about cash in the safe. It's prejudicial. AUSA. Derek Ferguson spoke of millions. This next exhibit is a ledger. This next exhibit a ledger. It shows drugs and romantic partners. Driscoll. Not authenticated. Judge. This exhibit, the objection is sustained. If foundation is laid, I'll hear it. Driscoll. The next exhibit is about an alleged victim who is not testifying. They just want to portray the defendant as a bad person. AUSA. Gina was a romantic partner. AUSA. Although Gina will not be testifying, George Kaplan testified about violence against her. Gina was identified as victim 3. Judge. I will look at this. Hopefully this helps with the charts. If you have two, AUSA, I apologize, but Judge, I was still talking. Agnifilo. Maybe have a bathroom break. Combs is led into a holding cell by marshals. AUSA. If we can't resolve the chart, Ms. Sankar can testify Monday. KK is in these charts. Judge. Okay, Monday. Shapiro. Until 8:30 for letter on juror. Juror. Adjourned. All right. Now, Nash, in the beginning, Nash, you said we need Young Miami. Why would you say that? Well, because there's just this thing I can't get over. And I may be right, I may be wrong, and I may be one of the only people to notice this, or the majority may notice this. This seems like these brides knew what he was into and agreed. Now, the ass kickings and all that and everything, I'm not saying they agreed to that at all. What person would? But as far as this goes, one of the lines that Cassie said was that, the only other person that she could mess with is Jay-Z. But then 50 Cent baby mama basically made it seem like that's what she was into too. When they said, would you get her money back? She said, yeah. But when they talked about the house, she said no. But the money pays for the house. You can't have one without the other. So now I'm sitting here listening and looking like, I think Jane is full of BS. I do. I think what's going to happen is because that love contract was brought up, that's where it's going to remain. She could see him in civil court and basically say, yeah, we agreed to that. So he still has to pay for 3 years of this. Some of y'all going to be like, hell nah, Seti Nash. Hell nah, Seti Nash. Well, if we have an agreement to do something, that's binding. But the biggest thing is this, and I seen this on, I think I want to say Judge Judy or whatever. I'm going to just give y'all this quick story. There was a story on Judge Judy, and I recall this vividly, where a guy was working, and he was putting his girl through college. His girl graduated, and then she ditched him. He's like, yo, you need to pay for this college that I'm about to go to because that was our agreement. The lady was basically like, nah, fuck this shit, I'm out. And next thing you know, boy, oh boy, and man, oh freaking man. The guy won. Yep, clap it up, because they agreed. So I'm wondering if this love contract is going to be that. Because if that love contract is exactly that, you can never write a contract on quote unquote sex. So that could null and void that. But what makes it to stand in regular court, like civil court, we'll see. I'm just curious about that, because if that's able to hold, bro, there's a lot of things that was said that essentially you could say she had already agreed to, and it's not illegal, because that would make the contract illegal. Now, so what actually happened? She nasty. Yeah, she nasty. She nasty, twin. She real nasty. And I ain't gonna hold you. When she basically flashed her tits while somebody getting pounded out and all that, she blamed it on the drugs. Baby, sometimes them drugs bring it up out of you. Is she really like this? I have no idea. If I ever seen that woman, I ain't gonna hold you. I'm gonna walk around like I'm scared. I'm putting my head straight down and looking at the ground, because there is no way on God's green that I could sit here and, granted, not judge, because honestly I don't care, but I'm looking at the ground because the type of person she is. If you an extra freaked out person, you just an extra freaked out person. But when I can see that you're manipulating people as well, then so be it. Everybody's playing a game here. Cassie was playing a game and she was playing a game. Their game was for the money. Does that make Sean Combs innocent? No. But then again, I don't know. But when the freaking government basically said she was never going to be charged as a co-conspirator to this. So then that means what crimes were committed? If there was never going to be charges, then so be it. But they forced they gave forced immunity on her because she wasn't going to say anything. But now that she's been talking, I'm pretty sure the government told her, yo, when you testify, you're still going to be able to keep your stuff. You're still going to pay for this. So I'm just curious what laws apply. But share to keep your people aware. Subscribe, turn the bell to notify. Hit that like button like you like something. Let me know your thoughts on this one. 21 and 22. I'm sorry I missed the days for y'all, bro. I'm actually about to fight again. So we might not, or we may get videos tomorrow, but it'll be on the late side. So I'll let y'all know. But other than that, I'll catch you on the next one.